It is a safety win, but from a consumer and labor policy perspective, is this a substantive reform or largely just a cosmetic change that still leaves these gig workers at risk?
No, it can't be, Kabir. It can't be a cosmetic kind of an outplay. I think it's the beginning of a big reform which is coming in the country in favor of the labor.
Okay.
Of course, we because I always represent the consumer. You see, for consumers, speed is one of the dimensions of quality. We need delivery with the speed because we want it and we are willing to pay for that, but not at the cost of compromising on safety, compromising on the livelihood, compromising in terms of health and other related issues. So what the government's intervention at this point of time is an excellent kind of a intervention in terms of giving a good signal that it's high time we brought in effective and efficient regulations which are neutral, unbiased, and are in favor of the workers. Because at the end of the day, if the workers are happy, the service providers are happy, if all the people who are working in the supply chain are happy, the consumer is bound to be happy. And that is what the consumer always looks for. You see, as you know, that we as consumers, we also look for, who are those practitioners or providers who, adopt good environment policies, who adopt good wage policies. And you know that all over the world, there was a halla about child labor in the carpet industry in India, which got changed, and there was reforms brought in because world over they boycotted Indian carpets because they were seen using child labor. So like that, the consumers also play a role. When the gig workers went into strike, I firmly recall it was your channel who invited me, and I remember on behalf of consumers, we stood by them, and everybody stood by them. But what we need to understand is the political executives must react on time, and they have reacted. So I'm very happy with the fact.
The need for speed, of course, it's a qualitative dimension for all the consumers, which you speak for, but it seems like speed was only one part of the problem. The core demands are still being sidelined, they're still unmet. The Labour Ministry has intervened once, but can voluntary changes by these platforms really protect the workers? Because we need binding regulations that fix the pay floors. We're talking about delivery incentives and safety standards for the entire gig economy at large. If this has to survive and can be sustainable, we need to look into these factors as well.
So, Kabir, this is just the beginning. Okay. I think the government would definitely look into all the aspects in terms of the existing labor laws in the country, like minimum wages, social security, health insurance, and ensuring that they get all the amenities in terms of also insurance if there is an accident while they are on the job. So all these issues needs to be covered by the service provider, and we as consumers are always willing to pay for it as long as it is transparently conducted. We always want to encourage ethical players in the marketplace, and at the same time we also want quality. So when we want quality and we are prepared to pay for quality, then the government has to ensure to benchmark in terms of ensuring that there is no compromise on quality to the consumer who is willing to pay and pays for it. At the same time, all the actors who are in the supply chain are well taken care in terms of their welfare. So social security is another dimension which I feel the government has to look into in terms of the unorganized labor. And as I always said, our golden standard is government employees. Whatever you are giving to government employees out of taxpayers' money, the same amenities should be made available to all the employees who are working in the country, and we have to ensure that all unorganized labor are taken care of in terms of their
Talk
pension.
about that golden standard, Professor. Aam Aadmi Party Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament, Raghav Chadha, putting on the uniform and, going with these gig workers, navigating those same gullies, those same by-lanes, the same apartment complexes. Sometimes it's you meet a consumer who's in a good mood. Sometimes there's a consumer who's not in the right kind of mood, and, you get a hearing, and all those skirmishes are far too real. And this gig worker economy, it's the backbone of this tertiary sector.
Correct, Kabir. But I don't like this drama baji going on. The politicians have enough data with them, which are factual. They can create actual data. They can do good, robust studies, and they can go with that. But they don't have to be actors on the street. Come on, we don't believe in all these kind of gimmicks. What we as consumers believe is, practical approaches to human beings.